Alright, what's up guys? Brad here, and we're gonna stream this live, but basically it's gonna be kind of like a Hearthstone video. Rather than me editing it, whatnot, just stream it, makes it a little easier. So what I want to do, as the title says of the video, is I want to showcase basically my favorite deck so far that I've played from the Rise of Shadows expansion. So I've experimented with literally tons of decks now, and there's a bunch that aren't even on here because I ran out of space and just started deleting stuff. But I'm just gonna talk about pretty much my favorite decks so far that are the most fun, best. They're not like the best, as in like they're gonna get you tons of wins. Some of them are pretty good though. So first, I'm gonna actually talk about my favorite deck this expansion so far. This is just one of the most crazy hypest decks I've ever played. It is very high rolly. You're not going to win a ton, but when you get some of these combos off and you get these wins, you're always going to be way behind. I guarantee you're probably not going to win against super hyper aggro decks, but if you're playing, you got a chance against anything in between. And I mean, maybe you could beat an aggro deck. I'm not 100% sure. I obviously haven't played enough games to really guarantee it. But let me tell you, this deck is amazing. So, basically going through the cards and stuff, Hand of Protection is a very weird card, but it's in here because when you play, one of your cards that are large minions, you want to protect it, and if you play something like Lakeforge Blessing on it, maybe you want to get that extra heal out of the minion, so you play Hand of Protection. And alright, and because of that, you're gonna get even more heal, basically. I don't know, is somebody here? Hold on, I'm gonna check and see if somebody's here. Alright, it sounded like somebody was here, but alright, I guess I'll restart this, as got a little distracted there. So we'll start it over. Let's see. All right, what's up, guys? Brad here, and today we're gonna live stream actually the my top favorite decks of the expansion from Rise of Shadows. And as you see here, I already got my first deck pulled up. We're gonna jump right into it. Talk about a bunch of them though. I've experimented a ton so far, and the first one is gonna be It's Time to Duel Paladin. So that's to play on the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, whatever. So kind of, I know Exodia Mage was like a thing before. It just, I don't know why, duel, just that's like the first thing that comes to my mind when I think when I hear it. It's time to duel. So stupid, dorky, whatever. But anyways, talking about the deck, this is a super high roll deck. You're not gonna get a ton of wins, but when you get the win, you're gonna feel amazing. So all you're gonna see here is basically absolutely monster minions in the deck, other than Archmage Vargoth, but there's a reason he's in the deck, obviously, because he works just so great with a lot of the spells. But anyways, going through the idea of the deck first before I actually go through the cards is you want to just basically hold out as long as you can. Hopefully you can get Vargoth on turn 4 onto the board. He sticks around, and then play Duel on turn 5. Maybe you've got some type of beast in your hand, such as Ondasta, well, not Ondasta. It's the only beast you don't want in your hand. But maybe you got Shrivala the Tiger or even Amani Warbear in your hand, and then you play Duel. Hopefully it's Ondasta that comes out. You trade into the minions, because most likely they don't have super large minions all the time. Obviously, negative thing is if you get Divine Shield, but even that isn't a big deal if it's a weak one. Like even Ziliax, you can hit Ziliax, it does 3 damage to you, nothing to them. And then when it's out in the field, because you just played, you know, it's got the rush, it could attack again. So then it'll be a 7-1. You get the overkill, pull the minion out from your hand, and then you know, Armani Warbear can also attack. So yeah, very high rolly and super powerful if you get it off. Other amazing card here. So that's one of the things. Linecracker, just absolutely awesome card. You know, he trades in, if kills something off, you all of a sudden have a 7 mana 10 whatever health, and it's a humongous threat. So you know, whatever, you know, it's just in the deck because it works perfectly. Batterhead, great for being like kind of like a board clear, I guess you could say, and able to trade a lot. Works great with the Lightforged Blessing card. That is almost one of the most powerful cards in the deck, because you do take a lot of damage in the early game, so you're going to need to heal and stall as much as you can in the early / late game. And cards like Flash of Light and Timeout, you know, True Silver Champion, stuff like that are able to stop as much. And Shrink Ray too is awesome for, you know, making their larger minions smaller. And then of course, you know, Shrivala the Tiger, great card for this. Very easy to get it down to 1/0 mana, whatever, and also great for being pulled out by the Windasta. And obviously Tyrion is just a solid card, so it's in it. Now you're probably wondering, there is one card in here if you look at it, and it's Hand of Protection. Like, why the hell would you play Hand of Protection? One, it's not really many cards left to play. It's not a lot of big minions I would want to play. And two, well, the other thing is, it works really good also with Lightforged Blessing. And so maybe you've got your, maybe it's, you just got a Marnie Warbear down. That's it. You get low in health, you know, you play Lightforged Blessing on it, run it into something, then you play Hand of Protection. All of a sudden, you can get potentially 2 more heals out of that card, so you can get up to like 15 heal at the minimum for Armani Warbear, unless they like Executor or something. So it really works out great. And then the other card probably you're wondering is Sound the Bells. Why the hell would you play Sound the Bells? So a lot of the problems I had early on testing with this card was just basically early game and not having a lot to do. So this is something that, you know, if you're excuse me, if you have something on the board already and you want to, you know, progress it a little bit more. So say you've got I don't know, say you have just a 1/1 guy, a Silverhand Recruit, then you play Sound the Bells, all of a sudden you can maybe get like a 3/5 guy in the board, so it's protects it a little bit more. Just something else to do. I don't know. That's pretty much the only thing I'm thinking about for Sound the Bells. Plus, also if you want, you can sorry about that. If you want, you also can play Sound the Bells on top of like Shrivala the Tiger or Batterhead. Just anything really works, to be honest. So just works out great. And of course, Archmage Vargoth works wonderful. So it gets pulled out regularly from Call to Arms. Then you pretty much guarantee you have it in your hand. It's a 4/8 instead, and so it makes it a little bit harder if you play it on turn 4 to kill off. Then on turn 5, you're able to play the double duel. That is the Dream. So yeah, probably my favorite deck so far by far. Now let's go into some other decks here. So what do I want to talk about next? I guess we'll just go right here too. It's a Mega Wind Fury. This is also a pretty fun deck. So it's essentially a very hardcore control deck. And the idea of it is to just have any minion really stick to the board that's got decent amount of attack, and then on turn, on turn 10, you're able to play Whirlwind Tempest plus the Wind Fury card wherever it is, Wind Fury, and just get the Mega Fury Wind Fury off and do what you got to do. So, and in order to help you sustain the board and do what you got to do, you got a lot of random cards such as Lightning Bolt. Acidic Swamp Ooze is great for the tons of weapon removal there is in the deck right now. Then Ancestral Spirit and Big Bad Voodoo work great with a lot of the larger cards that we have. So, you know, obviously Walking Fountain is a great target for bringing back to heal you more. Even Swamp King Hagatha, Unseen Saboteur. This is kind of like a meme to just threw it in randomly just to mess around with it. But it does have like a decent little body. Obviously weak for its mana cost, but still has a decent enough body and you can knock one of their spells out potentially. So yeah, then it's pretty much self-explanatory. I feel like for the rest of it, pretty much just playing control. So Henchclan Hogsteed is just to remove small guys, and then Menacing Nimbus, just solid 2-drop. Wind Fury, obviously for the combo. Lightning Storm, some area of effect, but we have only one because Hagatha's Scheme is just 20 times better than Lightning Storm. Earth Elemental, humongous body, so works pretty good for that. And Double Hex, Ziliax is in every deck. Fire Elemental, just a great card. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think the biggest problem I would say is hand size, because usually you're able to survive, but then when you play Hagatha the Witch, your hand's usually about like 8 to 9 cards, and then you just continuously are drawing cards and gaining cards in your hand. You don't know what to do with them. I think that's been like the biggest struggle for myself. But other than that, it is good. I have a lot of fun with this deck. I'm sure you're wondering with some of these decks, like when you see them, some of the names, like a Car Warlock, it sucks. I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, why is this not picking up any of the sound? I don't know why. I don't know. Seems like it's not picking up the... Weird. Alright, whatever. I don't know if it's picking up the music too great or not, but yeah, anyways. I guess we'll talk about probably one of my favorite decks out there. The Mount Seller deck. So this is essentially using Mount Seller and Arcane Fletcher as the kind of build around cards for the deck. And because of that, we are playing a decent amount of 1-drops. So we got Shimmerfly, Springpaw, and Timberwolf. And probably like why Timberwolf? Well, just good for a lot of the few beasts that you've got. Plus, Alazi, the Lynx, ends up getting a lot of 1/1s, and they're 1 mana. So that also gives you a lot of card generation for Arcane Fletcher. And because of that, you end up drawing a lot of your spells, which in turn makes you able to play a lot of your spells with exotic Mount Seller. So yeah, pretty cool little combo thing. I think it's a really fun deck to play also. So that is kind of why I like it. This is one of the different versions I have. I have other ones where I don't have Halazi the Lynx in it, and I think I've played that a little bit more often. And I end up having a few more of the secrets instead. So yeah, I think this isn't the optimal hunter deck. I would say if you're gonna play a hunter deck, I would probably say play like a mixture of mechs and beasts together. I think that is one of the more powerful versions of hunter right now. And then I guess also the mech hunter is not bad, but I have yet to play it myself. I gotta say, Unleash the Beast is one of the most powerful cards I've played so far. Obviously, I know that there's obviously better cards, but this card gets so much value with Zul'jin. You get the cards back in your hand after you play them because it puts one of the Unleash the Beast cards. It doesn't have the twin spell, obviously, but yeah. What else is there to say? Bloodscalp Strategist is just in the deck for, you know, generate more spells and whatnot, just so you can kind of, you know, we're playing on the exotic Mount Seller mainly. It's what we're kind of building around. I would probably say maybe we should try to add in the legendary, so we have like 3 weapons in the deck, so it can be activated a little bit more often. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm thinking maybe we do it in trade of like Timberwolf or something. So basically, something to mess around with. We'll like tinker around and stuff, I guess. I would probably say that's the best way to go. Maybe even like, I don't know. It's tough because like I like the secrets, and I just threw Explosive Trap because it feels like it's one of the more useful. Realistically, a lot of the secrets are useful, but it's like it's hit or miss because the meta is kind of switching around. I've been seeing a lot of the Zoo Warlock with like the imps and whatnot. I see a ton of Bomb Warrior. Obviously, that's probably 60% of the games I play against. I just kicked my mouse off. And then I was seeing, not so much anymore, but I was seeing a decent amount of like the aggro Druid too. But other than that, I would probably say it's like right now the top classes I see would be Warriors by far #1. #2 would probably be Warlock, and then 3 would be Hunter, and after that it'd probably be like Shaman. But other than that, I mean, Warriors just way up there because you have bomb control, just the Death Knight cards, or the hero cards, whatever you want to call them now. The fact that a few of these are still in the game in standard makes these classes significantly better, which is why you're going to see, for the most part, Shaman, Warrior, and Hunter, I feel like, in the top for a lot this year. Just a random speculation, but who knows. Yeah, I see a little bit of Mage too, but everything other than that I don't see often. So yeah, the Mount Stellar deck's pretty cool. I really like this Muck Morph deck also. I think it's interesting for sure. It's basically super hardcore control, kind of reminiscent of the old Malygos Shamans, but really isn't Malygos Shaman though. Like Malygos is in there, but that's like, it's kind of your win condition, but it's kind of not. So yeah, you're just kind of controlling the board, and I like the fact that you can play Muck Morph, get these like 9 drops, 8, 9 drops, whatever, and then you can play Big Bad Voodoo on it, or you play Ancestral Spirit, bring them back. Ends up being pretty cool, so I really like it. And obviously you have these spells, so you can hit them in the face with Malygos and whatnot for your win condition, Lightning Bolt, Totemic Smash, just one lick 'em for removal, Farsight, card draw, Feral Spirit, because we're not playing any small minions, so we gotta have some way to put some early minions on the board to protect us. So Feral Spirit works out pretty well there. Lightning Storm and Hagatha's Scheme, you put both in there because you want as much, board clear and whatnot in there. Obviously the double Hex, double Eureka, because if you got the big minions in your hand, you can pull out your Ysera, Malygos, whatever. Works out great. Swamp Queen Hagatha is by far the worst card to pull, obviously, for Muck Morpher, but it's just so powerful. You really do want it in your deck. So, it's kind of like a one, it's like take a gamble. One Rain of Toads. I wasn't really too sold on this. I feel like this card's a little slow, but I got in there, just try it out. And then Alakir the Windlord, actually kind of like an MVP in this deck, I'll be honest. It does pretty damn well. Almost arguably a little bit stronger than the base version of it, because you're able to hit somebody with 4 damage. But yeah. Another argument is maybe you throw in a Ziliax, because Ziliax is so strong, it's a little heal. But we do have Walking Fountain, so obviously it's better choice than Ziliax. But yeah, that is Muck Morph deck. I don't feel like there's really much to talk about. It's just a big shaman, really fun to play. So if you got the cards, I would try it out at minimum. And then I think I'm just going to talk about just a few more, and then I'll call it for the discussion part, and then I'll probably play some games. I'll probably stop the stream, so then this will be its own separate video, and then actually play some games today on stream, so we get some gameplay videos of it. I gotta say, I really like this Control Warlock. It's really weird and hard to play, but it's pretty fun. So the idea is you just pretty much are playing, like, you kind of struggle in the beginning here, early game. Usually you struggle, you're getting hit in the face and stuff, and you're just trying to survive as long as you can. But you have such value at the late game with you got your mountain giants. I got Hakar in here because it was just an idea. I don't know, I want to mess around with this card. I haven't found really a great way to play Hakar in this deck, or in any deck I should say. And my thought was just basically you play all this stuff, you get Hakar out there somehow, and then you, I guess, kill it off somehow. Then you could play your Arc Villain Rafam, and you don't have Corrupt Bloods anymore. I don't know, just a random idea. But essentially, if you look at the deck, there's double Exodus Swampoos. Maybe you could take one out because maybe 2 is a little too ambitious. I mainly have 2 in there because of all the warriors. Oh yeah, Rogue, by the way, it's very popular too. Don't see Rogue too often, but Rogue is definitely there enough. So maybe take one of these out, throw something else in there. But double Plot Twist. Plot Twist is one of my favorite cards too for this deck because you play Solarium, Plot Twist for 3 mana. You end up drawing 2 cards rather than losing a card with Plot Twist. And it's really great with the Arsan. Oh my god. Aranzi Broodmother. I was gonna completely say that differently. I don't know why. But this card is your main heal for the deck. Obviously, yes, you do have Ziliax, Ron Bomb, and Siphon Soul. But that's and you have the Ring of Farseer. So you do have a decent amount, but like that is the card that like seems to always kind of heal me the most for whatever reason. So it works out pretty great. And then that's why we got like Witchwood Pipers, Sense Demons, because they're ways to draw into these cards. Like, you know, kind of like cycle through your deck as much as you can. Going through what else that I haven't mentioned. Hellfire for your thing. Proud Defender, you usually don't have too many minions on the board for yourself at turn 4, so it's a good solid card. Then, yep, heal. These all make sense. Talked about it. Lord Godfrey is board clear. Lord Drax is threw it in there because there isn't a hero card anymore. This is essentially a hero card. Works great. Gets pulled with the Sense Demons. I like it. And double Mountain Giants because of you know, Handlock. Sunfury Protector also works great with Mountain Giants. Maybe Hakar, I don't know, so you can get those guys on. But it's pretty fun, hard to play. I think it probably could be built a lot better than what I've built. So, and I guess we'll do one more. One more deck. This right here is very questionable. That does not really work too well. You know what? I want to share. I don't know which one I want to talk about. I want to talk about one more. So Super Control, just a control priest, not really too interesting. Wall Priest, self-explanatory. Silence Priest, self-explanatory. This is a pretty fun deck, to be honest. I want to look at control really quickly. This is a control warlock, and it utilizes like Khadgar and whatnot, so not too exciting. This is one of, I think, the more exciting decks. I don't think it's very good though. It's like Exotic Mountain Seller. I really like this card. I'm trying to use it where I can. Basically a bunch of cheap minions, kind of like a thief, death rattle, burgle rogue. Basically I threw Grawl in there because, you know, if you get Exotic Mountain Seller and Grawl, that's one big ass dude for turn 5. And I mean, other than that, most of the guys that you hit are pretty good. The worst one obviously is Edwin Van Cleef, but for the most part I feel like you're getting a decent decent cards. And then we've got Necrium Blade 1 in there, so then we can trigger some of the death rattles, whether it's the heal, maybe Grawl, whatever. I like it. I mean, other than that, there's just not really too much. I mean, it's just a lot of cheap spells. The Burgle package here with Underbelly Fence, Blink Fox, Henge Clan Burglar, and then some Pirates, obviously. with the Necreon Blade, Raining Party, Henchclan Burglar, and the Cursed Castaway. But obviously exotic mount seller and 1 sprint because there's not really much card draw in here. So yeah, and then I guess really quickly we'll talk about this. This is another, I don't know why, I make some pretty like weird decks, I guess, with with Warlock. They're not any self-explanatory, I guess, but it's essentially just Demon Lock, but it's very disruptive. It's all about pulling combo pieces out and messing with their hands and whatnot. So basically Solarium for draw, Voidwalker. I'm gonna go through the basic guys that I don't talk about much. Solarium's draw, Voidwalker, just whatever. And then we've got Plot Twist for a little card draw, but Doubling Imp, Inferno, Rafam Scheme, Sense Demons, draws the demons out. Hellfire for just a board clear. Portal Keeper puts more, you know, demons in your deck, plus obviously it's a demon itself. Heal plus a demon. Demon for, and also messes with Resurrection Priest Hardcore, which is why I love this card. Portal Aura Fiend, some more guys in your deck. Unseen Saboteur messes with their spells, and Demon Bolt because we can get a decent amount of board space to be able to have a cheaper removal. Then Hecklebot pulls out the minions from their deck. 6 Swamp Moves obviously destroy the weapon for all of the weapon in there, and then Demonic Project to transform the combo pieces that are in their hand. Hopefully you hit something decent. But anyways, yeah, so those are just a couple decks. I am going to be posting all of it on Hearthstone, a lot of these decks, so anybody can look at them and mess around with them. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to stream in just a few moments. Just going to go do a few more quick things, and then I'll be right back online. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great